All right, hope everyone enjoyed their lunch, and if some of you are still working on dessert, continue to do that. Just wanted to thank you again for being here. We're going to have a short program. In just a moment, I'll introduce our head coach, John Williams of the Nationally Ranked Indians. And then after he gets done, give kind of an overview on the team, we'll have our assistant head coach slash defensive coordinator, Sean Cannon, give his thoughts. And then we'll give Jason McManus, our offensive coordinator, his take from the offensive side of things. But we do appreciate you being here. 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from tonight actually, we'll be getting ready to take the field for the first time this year against East Central. So that's why we kind of had all of you here today, and so we're just knocking on that door to start the 2013 season. I'd like to ask John Williams, he's getting ready for his 4th year. Last year, 6-3, once again knocking on the door for the postseason. Finished with a 3-game winning streak, including knocking off the defending national champs from East Mississippi in our homecoming game. And John, I'd like to ask you now to come forward and kind of give your overview on the season ahead.
Thanks. First of all, I just want to thank everybody that is here today from the media. You guys do so much for us, be it print, television, radio, and we appreciate you so much and the things you do. Not only for our program, but our players specifically. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about our players and putting them in a position to make plays and be successful, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and socially as well. So I'm very fortunate, very lucky to be able to work at Itawamba Community College. This is going on my 7th year here, and to be honest with you, I was thinking about it on the drive over from the office. You know, this is the longest that I've ever worked at one institution, and I've said this many times in the media and everything. You know, this is a great place. You know, this is a destinational job. It's not a transitional job, and I think there's two. You know, I think there's transitional jobs where you're working your way up the ladder, and I think there's destinational jobs where you want to end up in your career. So I'm very fortunate that, and I still consider myself young in my career, but I'm very fortunate that so young in my career I get an opportunity to lead the football program at this great institution. It would not be possible. It would not be possible without the love and support of our families, okay, and our administration, and specifically our athletic director, Carrie Ball Williamson, and our president, Mike Eaton, and our vice president, Buddy Collins. But also, this whole thing, the success that we have had and the anticipated success that we hope for in the future would not be possible without a great group of coaches to work with. You've always heard, you know, behind every great man is a great woman, okay? And we're all fortunate that we have unbelievable wives that allow us to basically go to work and play and have fun, okay? But behind every successful head coach is a group of men that are there for support and work their rear end off every day to make this a special place. So I'm going to introduce those guys real quick before I get started. As Will said, Sean Cannon, he is our defense coordinator and assistant head coach. Jason McManus, our offensive coordinator. Dennis Smith, our special teams coordinator and wide receiver coach. Tyrone Fox, our defensive backs coach. Ray Williams, our D-line coach. Corey Quinn, our tight ends coach. He's a volunteer. He's new with us this year. And of course, none of this would be possible without Cody Bonds. He's the brains behind the operation. He's our video coordinator and troubleshooter. So thank you guys for believing in me to put your family, I guess, in my hands. Also, Adam Gore, Will Colmeyer, Maggie, Kim, and their staff in the Public Relations and Sports Information Department do a phenomenal job, in my opinion, the best in the state at really cultivating relationships like we're doing here today, and getting the word out about ICC and promoting our program and specifically promoting our players. So, talking about the 2013 season, to kind of review back, 2012 was great. We ended it great, but that's what it was. It was 2012. It's in the past, and we'll beat no team this coming year based on what we did last year. That's the first thing. You know, to be honest with you, we've talked and talked and talked, and I've answered more questions than I care to remember about the East Mississippi win. That was a good win, okay? But it has nothing to do with 2013. And the thing that we have done is we have put that away in the past files, and we're moving on. Now, obviously, a lot of people think that we're going to be pretty good this year, okay? The thing that I would remind everyone is those preseason rankings are somewhat mythical. In that there's really not a whole lot to base it on. While we appreciate the respect for our program, to recognize us as one of the top programs in the country, at the end of the day, what matters is where you finish. Okay, I hope I can stand here in front of you at the end of the season and talk about where we finished and how proud I am of our record and our ranking. But again, that goes back to not taking care of your business one day at a time. And our whole focus right now is on the 2013 season, but specifically East Central Community College, which is who we opened up with. So many times, you know, Coach Ball has coached in this league for years, okay, and she's seen a lot of things happen. I've done it maybe half the time that she's done it, maybe not even quite half the time, and I've seen it happen time and time again where because of your rankings and whatnot, maybe you listen to that and you buy into that and you have kind of a sense of entitlement and you kind of have an expectation that it's just going to happen. Well, I've seen it time and time where teams are ranked high and great expectations for the season, and all of a sudden the wheels fall off and things go bad. So the thing that we all have to keep in mind is we're dealing with 18, 19-year-olds, okay? And anything can happen, okay? But I'm confident that we have a great group of kids that are going to stay the course throughout the year and do what we ask them to do offensively, and I'll let Coach McManus talk about it more, but offensively we'll be a little bit more veteran group offensively than we are defensively, okay? But now defensively, although we have some young guys over there on that side of the ball, I'm confident in what we have there, okay? I'm really excited about all of the new guys that we brought in. Didn't bring in too many, okay? But we did bring in some new guys, and we're excited about those guys, but probably more so excited about the old guys, the veterans that we have coming back and the leadership that they're going to provide. I'm old school in the fact that I believe in a couple of things. I believe in leadership. I believe that can take you a long way. And I believe in team chemistry, okay? It would be awesome to trot out there in game one and have your whole roster full of those five-star rival guys, that have a lot of press clippings out there, okay? But give me some hard-working Mississippi kids that'll get after you, and I'll take them every day regardless of how many stars they have. If they have some leadership about them, some character about them, and if they will buy in and continue to develop good team chemistry. I think back to 2007, and I always talk to our players about that 2017. That's the last time that we won the North Division. Okay, and you look back at that team, there weren't a lot of superstars. Okay, our team speed was very average. Our team size was very average. Okay, we were just really, to be honest with you, we were an average ball club. Okay, we go and we play Northwest the last game of the year, and we had 4 positive plays on offense and won the game. 4 positive plays. Now, the one thing that was different about that team is you had guys like Tyson Lee. You had guys like, Pernell McPhee. You had some really good players, okay? Some of them would be called average, but they were good junior college players, not flashy. But the one thing that they did give you was they gave you a ton of leadership and a ton of unity and chemistry. And because of that, we won the North Division that year. You can go back and look at other years where we've had a lot of talent, a lot of team speed, a lot of five-star guys, and it didn't go very well. Okay? It didn't go very well. And the reason was it just didn't have the chemistry, and kids just didn't want to play hard with each other. So this group is exciting from the standpoint of, I really think that they love playing the game with each other. Okay? And our coaches do a good job of getting them out of where they came from. Okay? And getting them bought into ICC. The common problem that junior colleges have is for 4 years they've gone and they've worn a different color and had a different logo and a different mascot, and that's their loyalty. Okay? Now where they want to get to is a whole other level. Everybody's trying to get to that Division I level. Okay? And you got junior college stuck here in the middle. Okay? The biggest challenge I see for us as coaches is to get those kids to buy into their short stay here, okay? Get them to buy into their short stay here and have some loyalty, okay? And have some pride about where they're at. And don't worry about where they're going, okay? But focus on where they're at. I told Craig the other day on the radio, we have a saying kind of around our place that we kind of remind players, all these players want to play in the SEC. Some, I don't think they understand what it takes to play there, but they all want to play in the SEC. And the thing that we as coaches say all the time is, hey, if you don't worry about the ICC, there will be no SEC. So getting them to buy into where they're at, I think, is one of the most important factors of being successful at this level. So am I excited? Yes. Am I optimistic? Yes. This is the season of optimism. I say that every year when we come in here. There's a team out there right now that will finish 0-10 or 0-9 or 0-12, how many games? And right now, right this minute, they think that they can win every game. Every coach in America right now thinks that he can win every game. But the reality of it is, some of those coaches that think that are going to be very disappointed at the end of the season. I don't think that we're going to be one of those staffs. I think that if we do our job like I'm confident we will, if our players do their job like I'm confident they will, then, we'll look back on this year and be real proud of our accomplishments. But yes, we're optimistic, but Mike Tyson once said, everybody has a great plan until they get punched in the mouth. So hopefully we're going to be the one that's doing that and not getting that to us. So, but anyway, again, I want to thank you for coming. Our players will be made available for you at the end. I'm sure we'll give you instructions on that. But really, a simple meal is not paving enough for what you guys do for us and putting the word out about us. And I know you have to be objective and you have to tell the truth, but I know this, I know every one of you guys do a phenomenal job of being objective and in your job, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate, just the coverage we get, okay? But a lot of long-term relationships here in this building, and look forward to continuing those and making them even stronger. So,
John, I bet you're the kicking coach. You signed the two best kickers in the area, we think. If you're talk about those two guys. I know they're both newcomers, but both of them, Jeb and
Emmett and Jeb. You've got Jeb Millender from Pontotoc, and you've got Emmett Dindy from Houston. I think both of those guys are going to complement each other. Okay. And very seldom, with a 55-man roster, very seldom do you ever want to take two kickers. Typically, you want to take, one guy that can do it all, and that'll give you another spot for a touchdown maker. Okay. But here's what I learned over the course of my career, and probably, I learned more about it last year than ever. If you look back at last year, We were 6-3, had a chance to probably be 8-1 if things go the right way, okay? But really, if you look a little deeper, okay, we also had a chance to be, 4-5 too. And what I mean when I say that is, we had a really good kicker last year that won 2 games for us at the end of the game. One, Tahoma, and the other was East Mississippi. So we always talk about winning the special team battle, okay? And a lot of times what that means is scoring touchdowns on kickoff return or punt returns or return units. But often overlooked is when you can flip the field with your punter, it makes a tremendous difference. I know a few years ago we had Heath Hutchins who went on to punt at Mississippi State. He might have been our most valuable player that year. We were not very good. But now, could have been a lot worse without Heath because he would flip the field for you. So I think both those guys are going to complement each other. Emmett is more of a kickoff specialist and long-range field goal specialist. Jeb is more of a punting specialist and PAT short-range field goal guy. I think right now, I think both of them, to be quite honest with you, are a little I won't say overwhelmed, but I think they're still trying to get their footing in terms of figuring out what college football is about and the schedules and the rigors and everything like that. But I think once camp is over and we get in the swing of normal everyday activity, then I think they'll improve as we go. I know this, looking back to last year and looking where we're at with our kicker last year, we're a lot more confident in what we have now than we had last year. Anyone else?
We want to speak to your quarterback situation, and for the, you got some guys that are back, and I know that they've had some success. And just looking at the numbers here on these great stats provided by Gore, and just about what your outlook is for these guys that you'll have at quarterback, coach.
I think we're very blessed. I think we've got 3 guys that we can win with. All 3 were in our system from last year. I'll let Coach Matt get into specifics in terms of where each one of them are at. But, at every position, it's a battle. No matter what happened last year, we're always looking to upgrade, okay? Last year, we had, Andrew Goodman came in at the beginning of the year as our starter, did a great job for 2 games. He got hurt in the second game and was out for the season. He has had some work done medically, and he is 100% now. After he went out, you had a guy that wasn't really supposed to play last year. We were going to try to, keep him out of action because we saw that he was going to be a good player down the road. Now you got him, and he's thrust into action, and he got to be your starter. And he did a great job in his first game out, then went through some growing pains and finished the season very well. And I mean, he looked like a really good player there towards the end of the season. And then you got another guy that redshirted for us last year, Chase Watson, that may have the lightest arm out of all of them. So you've got a good problem. I think competition at every position just makes you better. I always say this, we're an equal opportunity program. Equal opportunity for all, special privilege to none. Okay? And the only favorite I've got is the best one. That's the only favorite I've got. Whoever is going to win us the most games as a team, that's my favorite. So, at the end of the day, over the next 2 weeks, and I didn't realize it was 2 weeks from today. That kind of sobered me up a little bit. But over the next 2 weeks, we've got to figure out who that guy is. And as we go through the season, okay, if there's any complacency in the guy that starts the first game, then we may have another. But the good thing about having 3 good ones is you know, if one goes down, you don't lose a whole lot with what's behind it. And, you know, let's face it, guys, this is a very tough league. Okay, we learned that the hard way last year. You know, that's one position that I'm very confident in the depth that we have there. We're probably deepest there, to be quite honest. And that's an oddity in this league, to be deep at quarterback. Anyone else? Okay. All of our coaches will be available at the end of this. If you want to get one-on-one, be glad to do that. Any of our coaches, and we're going to bring our players in here when we're done. But coming up next is Coach Cannon, as I said. He's our defense coordinator, assistant head coach, and we're a lot better program with him than without him. He brings so much to the table. I know we're certainly glad to have him. Coach Cannon.
Appreciate that. Guys, thank y'all for being here today and doing what you do for our athletes and our school. It means a lot to them, and I really know it does. You know, I always tell my defense kids the quickest way to get your picture to paper is get in by a tackle. That's where they take the most pictures where the ball is. So hopefully they'll get in there a little more this year. But very excited, going into my 4th year here, and I like to call myself a vet of the junior college leagues now. But we feel like we've got a lot of talented kids. We've got a good bit of returners coming back. We've got 4 on the D-line out of our 8. We've got 4 linebackers out of our 8, and 2 or 3 in the secondary. So we're kind of young in that part of it. But I look at it like this: our sophomores are pretty much now seniors, and our freshmen are still freshmen because they've been through 9 games, and been through an all season, been through a spring practice, and then summer workouts. So we kind of treat those guys as seniors more than these new kids coming in. So, you know, we've been looking okay in camp, and hopefully we can keep the injury bug off of us. Last year we kind of hit us pretty hard last year, and you see it happening everywhere now in the NFL. You know, there's players losing every day. You know, injuries to this, injuries to that. So hopefully we can keep our guys that we have healthy, and really looking forward to kind of getting them on the field and see what they can do. And I've been telling them all week, you know, we start each day, and, you know, it's 15 days, it's 14 days, you know, and time is their enemy. And I tell them, you're against the clock, so keep pushing to get better in that thing, that type thing. But we've got basically 3 or 4 defensive linemen coming back this year, and the good thing is there's some big bodies in there. We got a returner that's coming back from an injury off of last year that's shown a very good promise in camp. 4 of my linebackers are back. They played a good bit for me last year, so they kind of know what's going on. So they've been kind of a mentor to these new guys that we got, and like I said, we've got 2 returners back in the secondary that we've had. You know, but like Coach said, you know, it's a deal where it's a revolving door each year as far as new players and old players. So hopefully we can, you know, just keep maintaining what we've got going right there. But you know, kind of our motto on defense is we talk about do your 1/11. We've got 11 guys on the field, and everybody has to do their one job, and then we all got to come together before that whistle is blown and you know, make a tackle. So we're just kind of getting that in our heads right now as much as we can, and understanding when the bullets start flying in a couple weeks, you got to go back to what we've been working on in practice each day, and go back to your fundamentals and those types of things. Okay, but I don't want to take up too much time. I know we got a lot of players here that you guys requested to come and talk to, and they'll probably tell you more than what we are. But anybody have any questions about anything on our side of the ball? We work with 2 great guys, and work with even better guys on the offensive side. We get after each other every day in practice, but once we come back in the office, we're all back family. But it makes us better. We're all competitors, and our kids feed off of that, and it makes us a better football team. But I got 2 great guys I work with on my side that make my job a lot easier because they yell more than I get to anyway. So, go ahead.
Who are some of those key guys, maybe a couple sophomores going on?
Our two nose guards that are back, DQ Reynolds, number 63, and Malcolm Pickett's number 60. DQ's from Fayette, Malcolm's from Oklahoma. They've improved tremendously in the off season, showing up in camp. And we've got Randall Boyd back, number 56, who played a key role for us last year as a freshman. He's probably a 6 foot, 260-pound guy, but he plays like he's 350 out there on the football field. But he's done good. And number 40, Cameron Wiggins is back for us, and he was a guy that played for us in 2011, and he's coming back from there. So we feel like we've got some good vets up front, at both the DN spots and both the inside spots. Linebacker, CJ Jackson, 26, is really my only returning starter, but I kind of look at all of them that played. They're all kind of starters. Some of them start the second series, and some of them start the first series type deal. But Cordarius Dean, Ted Easom, Stanley Childs, all four of those guys, including CJ, all played for me last year. So, I'm really depending on those guys to come back in there. And then our secondary, Darius White is a returning player for us from Grenada. Has done a really, really good job. And then Austin Shumpert from Itawamba. He's taken on more of a leadership role for us out there, and that's been a good sign to have those guys, step up and kind of show these new guys, how it's going to be. So, feel pretty good about it, and hopefully these new guys will come in and get in with them too. Everybody good? All right, Coach Matt.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for Coach Williams for giving me the opportunity to be here. Thanks for all the media, all you do for our student athletes. I always say that if it wasn't for the student athletes, nobody in this room would have a job. So I challenge you guys to do whatever you got to do to help our student athletes. This is my second year at Itawamba Community College. I'm really excited. Typically, the second year in this offense is always better. I'm excited offensively because we do have a lot of retention on our side of the ball. We have guys who have a lot invested in Itawamba Community College and have a lot invested in this program. We can start with a quarterback situation. We do have three capable guys. Andrew Goodman was our starter going into last year and started the first two games and did a nice job. We were right on schedule, and then he got hurt. And then we ended up playing Griff the last 7 games. And Griff, once he got his feet wet and got started, he really did a nice job. He led us to a victory over East Mississippi, and once he got going, he showed that he could win in this league, and we can win a championship with him. Chase Watson is another guy who, like Coach said, is really talented. He's a local kid from Saltillo, so we have 3 capable guys, and we're going to let this competition go all the way up to probably the week of the first game and name a starter and go from there. But we have a next man up mentality, and if one guy's not prepared like he should be and not producing, then we'll put the next guy in. They all 3 bring something different to the table. But the exciting thing is we have experience. All them guys have been down to the Delta and been eaten up by mosquitoes and been to Southeast Central in the rain. I mean, they have been through the battles of this Mississippi Junior College League, and that's really, really exciting for us. The running back position is another position that we're excited. We have really 2 guys returning that played in every game. Well, Chris Ingram was hurt last year. He got hurt early, but he played the year before, and he gives us a big running back. Tobias Lofton is more of a slasher, really athletic, fast guy who has just really done a nice job, and I expect both of those guys to give us a really, really nice 1-2 punch this season. Our tight end, Archie Denard, is returning. He started 9 games last year, and I'm going to use him in a lot of different ways as kind of that big H-back, running back guy. That's a guy who has really changed his body and developed and benefited from a 1.5 years of junior college football. I mean, he has really done a nice job. Position, Coach Smith coaches our wide receivers, and he has done a great job of really helping us with the details of the position. Last year we were really talented at that spot, and this year I think we have a chance to be even better. We might not be as old and mature, but we do have some really talented kids. We felt like we recruited as good in the state as you're going to find. We have a great mix of out-of-state players, and we have a great mix of in-state players who have invested a lot and have done a nice job. Jarvis Bentley is a returning out-of-stater who really produced last year. The thing about our offense is we play a lot of different guys, so very rarely is one guy going to have a ton of numbers. We rotate guys in and out because we try to go no huddle and play fast and keep fresh players on the field. But Jarvis Bentley's a returner who we're expecting big things out of. Shante Rogers is a guy from Minnewanba who's a glue guy. He can play any spot and is just solid as he can be. Ladero Hunt is a guy that we moved from running back to receiver who might be one of our faster players. So he'll be a dual guy that'll play running back and receiver, but we're expecting him to really have a great year. Janardrian Jones is a kid we picked up from Noxubee in the spring who gives us a lot of speed. So we feel like we have all the weapons on our side of the ball to be really successful and win a championship. The thing that is encouraging is it is our second year in the offense. We have a lot of retention, a lot of development, a lot of guys who are invested in this program. So we really expect to be better. We got hot toward the end of the year once we figured it out. I know we're going to be better running the football. Coach Williams is coaching our offensive line, and he's instilled toughness in those guys. So we're going to do whatever we got to do. If we've got to run it 75 times, or if we've got to throw it 50, whatever we're going to do, we're going to do what we got to do to win the game.
That will wrap up the program part of the luncheon today. What we do have, though, is a lot of our student athletes out there. A lot of you have requested different ones. I'd ask if we could do the TV. Our friends from Renaissance would like to have that behind doing the TV interviews with our partnership with them. And then between Adam, myself, Maggie, or even Kim, or any of the assistant coaches, if you need a particular person that you're looking for, we can all help you in that area. But on behalf of all of us, once again, thanks for being here. And as we mentioned, 2 weeks from tonight, we'll have Military Appreciation Night, where the 16th ranked, I'm sorry about the preseason ranking, but 16th ranked ICC Indians take on East Central. Thanks again for being here, and just tell us what you need. We'll be glad to help. Thank you.